Do, 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 do. Every day I'm Christmasing. Hello, lovely people. Welcome to the Summer and Cynthia show. I am time stamping this episode, obviously, with Christmas. So we know what time of year it is. It is the holidays.
We
It
do.
is the most wonderful time of the year. So they say, right, Cynthia?
Well, they do. And this year we are extra challenged to make it special, memorable,
Yes.
to separate traditions that aren't going to happen this year and maybe create some new ones. Maybe
Mm,
find the real meaning of Christmas, finding it in the people who unfortunately you're going to have to miss this year. And I
that
say that to you because I was on Michigan Avenue, I was on State Street in Chicago, and I was at Macy's, and Macy's is a morgue right now. It is
oh,
sad. There's nobody there. There's nobody standing at the big tree on the seventh floor where all the people used to come with their all dressed up and the kids and the pictures and all of it. It's not happening. And it hurts. It just, it's so much, it's so different. And
yeah.
yet, if truly it's not so much the stuff as it is the experience and the being, having those memories. So we're going to have to go heavy on those memories this year, Summer. I'm just saying it to you. And also pick the traditions that mean the most to you and maybe celebrate those. Or
Maybe start some new ones.
you're the Christmas elf on this. So I'm turning it back to you.
Ho, ho, ho. Because we're going to slay all day. Yes, I am going to be obnoxious with these throughout this recording. Hello, peeps. So today we thought we would talk about music because music just sets the mood for any and everything, but particularly holiday music. When I think about holiday music, it invokes so many memories for me from a wee little lad all the way until today. And I think, especially with such a hard year, if you were playing Christmas music back in March, I love you. You are my people. That is how you find happiness and joy during these hard times. So, Cynthia, when I say Christmas music, what is literally the first thing that pops in your mouth?
Well, Summer, okay, I thought we were going to talk about Mariah Carey, but I guess we're
Well, we're
saving
gonna go
that
there
for
too.
last.
We're gonna go there too.
All right. Before Mariah Carey, before and
Before.
and after the Phil Spector Ronettes and all of that incredible wall of sound stuff, somewhere mashed in the middle, when Donna Summer was not making everybody so sad and mad and wondering what was going on. So Donna started her world in the church. She was a church singer first and foremost there in Boston. And I have been a huge Donna Summer fan my whole life. God rest her soul. And she has a Christmas album, and some of it's corny, but some of it is really awesome. And it's frozen, it's there. It's preserved forever and ever. And this is my go-to album. We have other albums, and of course we have the Charlie Brown Christmas,
Mm.
the Vince Guaraldi trio.
It would not be Christmas without it.
Right.
And so I love, first of all, I love how you have receipts, what we call receipts, in terms of the tangible cover. And full disclosure, folks, I was trying to find one of my favorites, which is Christina Aguilera, which I did have the hard CD. And for my fans out there who love Christina like I do, I know you know what I'm talking about. I don't know where that freaking disc is. So what I have been doing the last decade is streaming it. But she brought up Mariah. And again, there was this whole era before Miss Mariah blessed us with that wonderful song that has pretty much catapulted her
She owns
into
it. She's got it. Yep.
Miss Christmas. And so let's go ahead and dive right into this special that came out on the 4th.
Yes,
It,
which
it
I
premiered,
watched.
yes, Apple
Yes.
TV. Uh, Talk to me. What did you think?
Whew. Well, so I think there was a period of time in the 90s in particular where the pop music industry, radio play, but this is back when Sirius and XM were still two different companies, and the other streaming didn't exist,
Yeah.
where they were looking to kind of shake loose of Bing Crosby and shake loose of David Bowie. And, you can only listen to Peggy Lee rocking around the Christmas tree so many times. We needed people, we needed others. And lo and behold, about the same time, Amy Grant came out with something, but she kind of headed down a little bit more of a country western religious theme. And then Mariah came out with, and I mean, isn't this love actually all over again? The fact that Mariah came out with this really great song, and it took forever to become cemented into the true catalog of the top notch always get played. Because
Right.
otherwise you could say, well, the waitress is doing Christmas wrapping. Oh my gosh,
Ah.
that's got that like just oozes 80s. That feels so good. But
Right.
here Mariah is. She owns this. Whitney's gone. Diana Ross will never do Christmas songs again. She doesn't need to. And R.I.P. Donna.
Of course.
So
And
Mariah
Mariah
owns
said,
this.
hold my beer, I've got it.
Yes. So when they were like, hey, let's do a Christmas special with Mariah Carey, I have to give them credit, first of all, for undertaking this during a very difficult year to produce this kind of a show. They were
Yes.
very creative, huge points for creativity. That's what's going to make it timeless, is the fact that they really dug deep and they brought in an interesting circle of people who were sort of supporting characters, including Billy Eichner, who just, they enjoyed this opportunity to create something that I think is going to be a classic.
Yeah.
What makes it a classic is she is in very good voice. She's having fun with everything she's doing. And in particular, there's a song that I think is about to enter this whole new catalog of modern classics because she's singing with Ariana Grande and Jennifer Hudson as
DJ.
backup.
That's
And that
yes.
just doesn't happen every day. That only happens in COVID when nobody's on tour.
Oh, such a moment. Yes, that I think you're right. That's going to be another one. And I thought I saw on Twitter there a remix already of that song.
There should
So
be.
absolutely. And the like you said, the wardrobe. I mean, it's Mariah. Would we compromise on anything? No. My girl served us looks from beginning to end, a little sultry.
Yep.
Uh,
There's not a lot of plot to it, but
right.
it isn't just one song after another. They have some fun and they make it pretty modern. And I thought it was clever and well done, well produced.
And if anybody was gonna do it, I'm glad Mariah, teamed up with Apple and they were able to create a little gift. Just again, it's something for us to rally behind
Mhm.
and kick off the holiday season in full swing. So hopefully, if you have access to the Mariah Carey Christmas special, we highly recommend it. It's just a good 43 minutes, I believe, roughly, of just
Yep.
escapism, happiness, and all the commercial aspects of Christmas that we love, hate it or not.
Yep.
It's part of what we do as a society, but it's definitely a treat and highly recommend you guys check into that. I was thinking of some other music memories. Another one, and this is actually for my parents growing up, is the Temptation Christmas album.
Okay.
I, in fact, that is literally how I kick off my holiday season. It will start off with a song from either Christina or the Temptations. When I was putting up my tree last weekend, I had to put on both albums and just from A to Z, let it play. And just the Temptation one is more sentimental because that's what mom and dad would play when we would get ready for the seasons, and it translated over into the family, and so it's part of my family in
Sure.
terms of what we would listen to. How about you? Do you have a family song or album that
Well, so I mean, I'm old enough, and yes, albums, vinyl was the day. So I'm old enough that my parents' albums came from Firestone and Goodyear, and they were giveaways when your dad brought the car in to have the snow tires put on. So they stood around for 45 minutes, and then you scored a point to bring another Christmas album back home. And I'm sure it was a fraction of what
who is
albums
that
would cost
though?
in stores. And he was busy enough, and we were we didn't have that much extra money that for us to be going off to buy albums, that just was not part of the budget. So he brought home those. So we probably had like four maybe. And it was a mix, it was the Bing Crosbys and the Frank Sinatra and a Barbara Streisand song. And so just all the classics, mashed together, and they got played and played and played. And then we also had another album that my mother must have, well, maybe she actually got it for her birthday because her birthday was in December, and it was the highlights of Handel's Messiah.
Mm.
And that was very, very worn, but worn enough that for my never having seen the Messiah, never, and she had sung it like in high school, and enjoyed singing. So it was important to her for that. And it burned, it burned enough in my old 3.5-inch floppies that I, have a strong love of Handel's Messiah.
Absolutely. And another one that I thought of, and I'm going to ask you, and this is more related to your children. Another classic is the Chipmunks Christmas for me. Oh my
Mm.
God, I used to play the hell out of a Christmas song by them. Did your kids have a favorite?
No, we didn't. Well, we didn't have the Chipmunks CD in our house. We do have Jingle Cats, which we still listen to. And there's a mishmash of 80s, kind of a mix CD that we bought of 80s Christmas songs, and that's Wham and all
Yeah.
that,
Yes.
and the Vince Guaraldi. So that just remains a huge classic for us. The Charlie Brown Christmas.
Absolutely. I mean that. Yeah. Christmas time is here. Oh, I wish I could sing. Anyway, it's okay. Exactly. I, every day I'm Christmasing, you guys. Yeah, every day I'm Christmasing. Every day you need to Christmas.
But it is good. Lastly, I'll share with you this. So I was at Target just a couple of days ago, and there was a whole fresh remix of Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, I think. And it was by, I had never heard this version before. It was very up to date. Um, I'm glad. I'm glad that finally there is sort of this breakthrough of all of these standards with some fresh talent, fresh instrumentation, instrumental version, whatever it is that people have to do to produce something that's clearly different, that
Yeah.
knocks the old ones out. It's about time, because that's, if we're listening to it from the middle of October, and God bless people and who are in retail who have to live with this every single day, whew, it's about time.
I know, poor thing. And then you think about it, it's like, and I'm just exaggerating for illustration purposes, there's like 10 Christmas songs, but there's a million variations of said 10 songs.
Yes. Yes.
And that's kind of the cool thing about it. It's just it's interesting how Christmas music can totally transport your mood. And so that's why I said, earlier in this episode that if you were playing it in March or whenever, there's nothing wrong with stealing your joyful moments by listening to holiday music if it does that for you, because it is a magical way of transporting you to wherever, a happy place. And it's important for us to steal more of those moments. And so we're hoping, with just talking about, you see how joyful and happy we're getting. We're talking about the music. Oh, Michael Bublé, I don't know why he just came in my mind, but that is another hot Christmas album. No. I fell into that spell. I totally did.
Good for you. Good for you. Johnny Mathis has a Christmas album, at least one. And I have the Gladys Knight Christmas CD. There's
so many.
There really are. So break out, maybe pull something up that you haven't ever listened to, stream it a little bit, and then hunt it down and buy it as the physical copy, because that would be the one other thing I'll say, darling, because you can't find your physical CDs anymore, is you are at the mercy of all those streaming services.
I am. That is absolutely right. So shout out to people like Cynthia who still have their holiday physical copies of their favorite albums.
Yes.
Now, go ahead. No, go ahead. See how joyful and excited we are about this topic. If you want to submit to us,
tell us what you're listening to.
And you get extra credit if you've got photos of said music.
Yes.
Please share with us. Our email address is below, or you can comment. Feel free. but we are always looking to hear from you. We hope that you enjoyed this la
Yes.
la 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 moment. Oh, it's in my heart, you guys. I so wish I could sing.
They say that the senses, are there are some senses that just absolutely jack your endorphins. They create all these they go take you back to memories.
Mm,
And so this is the musical part of the musical tradition of the holidays is really kind of important because it is that thing that will connect you. And if you decide that this is the year to introduce new music, then this is your way of sort of making a hallmark, a milestone in 2020 to the year that maybe you did things a little bit differently or you added to that repertoire so that in the future, when you listen to a certain song, you're going to go, oh my gosh, 2020, that was such a hard year. I was separated from so many people. And it was just, as they're calling it now, unfortunately, and I don't mean to be a downer here, they're calling this one of the darkest times in American history
it
and
is.
in American public health and medical history. And so we're living through it. And if we're going to do that, we might as well pull out the stops and make sure that our hearts are protected.
Still your joy, still some happy.
Absolutely. And we'll keep sending it to you on the Summer and Cynthia show. So subscribe so that you don't miss another beat.
Yes, honey, because every day we're Christmasing.
All right.
Subscribe. Tell a friend about our show. Come back and check us out, you guys. See ya.
Peace on earth. Peace out.